MiniMax just dropped their brand new M2.5 model, and in this video I'm going to be doing a side-by-side comparison with Gemini Pro 3 and MiniMax M2.5, building a website from start to finish and showing you how to host it. If that sounds good, I want you to leave a like, subscribe, and turn post notifications on if you haven't yet. And if you look at a lot of the different benchmarks, the MiniMax M2.5, it's definitely on par with the top model, Claude Opus 4.5, 4.6, Gemini 3 Pro, GPT 5.2, GPT 5.3, and so forth. So it's like a wide range of different things you can do with the tool. It's 37% faster than the M2.1, and it's also matching the speed of the brand new Claude Opus 4.6. The M2.5 is like the first frontier model where users don't need to really worry about cost as much because it costs just $1 to run the model continuously for an hour at a rate of about 100 tokens per second, or at about 50 tokens per second, the cost drops to about 30 cents. They hope that that cost effectiveness is something that like drives a lot of users as well, because and in terms of like coding, for example, if you look at a lot of the different benchmarks, it's on par with Claude Code, it's on par with GPT, it's on par with Gemini. It does very, very well. Was trained on over like 10 programming languages, right? So Go, C, C++, TypeScript, Rust, Kotlin, Python, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Lua, Dart, Ruby, and just more. And it's also trained across over 200,000 real world environments. So there's a lot of training that went into this. Some things I want to highlight with the M2.5 is its like efficiency. So its quality of output, and compared to like the other models. The cost is something that's like should be highlighted as well, because it can even be as low as 30 cents per million tokens. Based on like output price, the cost of the M2.5 is only 1/10 to 1/20th of like Opus, Gemini 3 Pro, and GPT-5. So can you imagine like what you would spend on Opus, Gemini 3 Pro, GPT-5? So yeah guys, let's get started with the coding. So go to your search browser, type in anti-gravity, click the first link, go to the top right, click on download. Select your operating system. This works on Mac, Windows, and Linux. Since I'm on a Mac, I'll select the Mac installer. Once it's installed, double click to open. Let it install. Once anti-gravity is open, you're going to go to the top right, click on login with Google. Next, log in with your Google account. If you don't have an account, click on create an account. After you're logged in, now you're going to go to the left, click on extensions, type in root code, and then you're going to click on this first link. Next, you're going to click on install, go to the top, click on settings, and then click on add profile. Type MiniMax M2.5, then click create profile. Next, for the API provider, make sure it's on MiniMax. For the API entry point, make sure it's on api.minimax.io. Next, you're going to get an API key. Go back to your internet browser, go minimax.io, click on login. Click on login, click on API platform. You're going to continue with Google, or you can continue with GitHub, or sign up for an account if you don't have an account. Since I have an account, I'm going to log in. Once you're logged in, you're going to go to balance. Then you can add some credits in. Then go to API key, click create new secret key. Name this anything you want. When you have your API key, click to copy, go back to anti-gravity, and then you're going to paste it in here. And then for the model, you're going to want to click this one time, and then you're going to want to search, and you're going to type in MiniMax M2.5. Make sure you type it in exactly like that, because it's using the brand new M2.5 model like so. And then you're going to save. You're going to want to click on open folder, navigate to your desktop, click on new folder, and for this project we're going to call it Tech Kevin. Another new folder, I'll name this MiniMax. Go back to Tech Kevin and we'll create another new folder, and we'll name this one Gemini. So you can see I created two brand new empty folders. First, we're going to navigate to MiniMax and we're going to click on open. Once MiniMax is open, what you're going to want to do is, you can see here it's an empty directory. You're going to want to go to root code. And once root code is open, you can see MiniMax M2.5 is here. And you can see here it's currently using the coding plan. Now we're going to code it using our 4 prompts. We're going to go here for MiniMax. We're going to copy our prompt and paste it in. And for prompt 1, we're going to build a website. Create a website for a quiet KPI using React and Tailwind CSS. Build the hero section with a founder-friendly weekly metric digest. Soft SaaS aesthetic. Calm headline, email capture, typeface, minimal layout, no motion except for a single pattern. So we're going to be using the same 4 prompts for MiniMax M2.5, and then we're going to be using the same 4 prompts for Gemini Pro 3. Start with MiniMax M2.5, and we're going to press enter with this prompt and see what it does. Okay, so it looks like prompt 1 is done. Now open up terminal, type in cd, then let's check the MiniMax folder. We do cd, so it created that in there. We just drag and drop that, and then we're going to do npm run dev. We get localhost 3000, paste it in the web browser, and here's the website I created. Yeah, visually, I don't really see any issue. It's mobile and desktop friendly. Cool. And that was prompt number 1. Now go back. Now we'll enter prompt number 2. Now let's add more visuals. And for prompt 2, we're going to add visuals, extending the existing React Tailwind website by introducing our product visuals, add some like example KPIs, and just extend it more. And then we're going to type that in. Okay, and you can see here that prompt 2, the task is complete. Go back to terminal, and we're going to refresh the page for localhost. And now when we scroll down, we can see a new section. Visually, it's pretty nice. I like it. It's like a landing page. Desktop looks good. Mobile looks good as well. Cool. Now we'll go to prompt 3 and we're going to paste prompt 3 in. Now we're going to add a pricing and testimonial section. Okay, so the prompt 3 is done. Now we're going to open up our web browser again and we will refresh. And as we scroll down, we should see a new section. So we kind of added like a tool section and then added a testimonial. Pretty nice. Wow, and it's like visual effects as well. And then added a pricing table. Wow, I like this pricing table. So we're pretty much adding section by section, right? Prompt 1, we created this part. Prompt 2, we created this part. And in prompt 3, we created this part and the testimonial and pricing section. Visually, I don't see any issue with it. It looks very like well designed. Like in terms of, can you tell it was created by AI? Not really. Okay, now we'll enter the final prompt. Okay, prompt 4, copy and paste it in. We're pretty much just completing prompt 4. We're just pretty much finishing the landing page, and in this one we'll add a header and create a footer as well. Okay, so prompt 4 was done. It pretty much created the header, it created the FAQ section, and it created the footer section. Now let's take a look how it actually looks. We open up the web browser, we're gonna refresh the page and created a basic header. Cool. Created a footer. Pretty nice. Created the FAQ section, which is also nice. Does it work? It works. Visually, I'm happy with the result. It's beautifully designed with kind of like a really minimalistic glass type of look. It's a fully complete visual website. Pretty much just created it section by section. It's clean, it's visual, it's straight to the point, and it creates everything very well. I could not find a single issue really visually, and this is just 4 prompts, right? Okay, now I want to show you how to use the Gemini Pro 3. You can see here Gemini Pro 3 is empty here. We're going to open up anti-gravity. We're going to click on open the Gemini empty folder and we're going to open Gemini. And you can see here Gemini is completely empty here. You're going to make sure it's in planning mode. You're going to make sure for the model you're on Gemini 3 Pro High. And we're going to copy prompt 1 in to create the website. And then we're going to send. Okay, so prompt 1 is done. And you can see here, open up a brand new terminal and we go to Tech Heaven folder, type in CD. You see here, we're in the Tech Heaven folder. We're going to click on Gemini. We're going to drag and drop the directory in. npm run dev, open up a brand new browser, paste it in. So this is the first single prompt. Visually, it looks good. I don't see a single really issue. Compared to the MiniMax, it's just a little bit different, but visually it's perfect. Okay, now we'll go to prompt number 2, copy prompt 2 in, go back to the bar. We're going to add more visuals. Okay, so prompt 2 is done. We added visuals. We're going to check out how it looks. And it added this section right here. Personally, for prompt 2, this is not well designed, right? It doesn't, on desktop, it looks not good. On mobile, mobile looks okay for Gemini. Yeah, desktop, I don't like it. So for this second prompt, I don't prefer Gemini Pro 3 in this case, but we do see the issue there. So, okay, let's go to prompt 3, paste prompt 3 in, add pricing and testimonial section. Okay, so prompt 3 is done. We added the pricing and testimonial. Okay, so it looks like in prompt 3, it fixed this section right here that we had issues earlier. And and I didn't even ask it to fix that section. So interesting. Added this section, and then add a testimonial section. I like the testimonial section. The pricing looks perfect as well. Prompt 3 looks good. Now we'll go to prompt 4. We'll paste in prompt 4, and this pretty much just completes the website. We're going to add the FAQ. We're going to add a header, footer. Okay, so we see here that it's done. Prompt number 4. Let's go back and we refresh the page and see how it looks. Okay, and here's the result. Right off the bat, I noticed the header has some like spacing issues. The footer, it looks nice. The issue of the header is not good. On mobile, I guess it's kind of fixed, but there's missing links here that should be there, I guess. You can see it's just too close and compact. This is the end result of the Gemini Pro 3. Open up a brand new terminal and then we're gonna run the MiniMax M2.5 side by side. So this was the result of MiniMax M2.5. Visually, everything looks good. I noticed some of this color thing, but that's not too bad. And this was the result of MiniMax M2.5. And this was the result of Gemini Pro 3. And we pretty much created it out element by element. In my opinion, I think I prefer MiniMax M2.5 a little more. So we used the same 4 prompts for MiniMax, and then prompt 1 we just told it to create the website, created this section for both for prompt 1. And in prompt 2, it pretty much just created the section. And in prompt 3, we created more sections like pricing and stuff. And then in prompt 4, we pretty much just added the FAQ, header and footer. So visually, in terms of just correctness, I would just say that MiniMax M2.5 did a better job. I personally prefer it better. So in this case, I think MiniMax M2.5 definitely beats Gemini Pro 3 for just creating visuals overall, because it's just, in terms of correctness, I would definitely say that MiniMax M2.5 did a better job, and everything is just visually works. Everything visually works for the Gemini Pro 3 as well, but just some spacing issues, slightly visual issues. Which one would you guys use? Okay, so next I'll show you how to host it. Go to github.com, click on sign in. You're just gonna log in your account, and then we're just gonna click on new. You can host either website that you want to host. For this one, I'll host the MiniMax M2.5. Type in tag Kevin, MiniMax. You can name this whatever you want. Click create repository. Once you're on this page, click on upload an existing file. Now we're going to go to the MiniMax directory. We're going to drag and drop everything in except the node_modules folder. So you can see here, I'm dragging everything except the node_modules folder. Okay, so I dragged and dropped everything in except the node_modules folder, and I'm going to click commit changes. We successfully uploaded the website for the MiniMax M2.5. Open up a brand new internet browser. Go to your search browser, type in vercel.com. You're going to click on login. You're going to click on continue GitHub. Once you're in, you're going to click on add new, click on project. The tag Kevin MiniMax folder you can see is on top. If it's not there, you can search for it as well. This was just the directory created and uploaded the file on GitHub. We can see we did it like less than a minute ago. We're going to click on import. We're going to click on deploy. You should see a page like this. Congratulations. Click on continue to dashboard. Next, you'll get a link. You're just going to open the link. And we can see here, tag Kevin MiniMax Result app. This is a live website link. And you can see here, this was from the website that we created with MiniMax M2.5. Completely hosted. Everything works. Everything looks good. Literally from 4 single prompts, I'm just very impressed. You know, it created a fully functional website visually. Of course, there's no back end, but it's just a front end and it's hosted. So in this case, when I did the 4 prompts of building the website, adding visuals, adding pricing testimonial, and pretty much just completing the website, overall, I think MiniMax M2.5 definitely did a better job overall, because in terms of just correctness, it did everything. So if you guys want to use the new MiniMax M2.5 model, just go to platform.minimax.io for the API, or you can just go to platform.minimax.io for the coding plan as well. And for the coding plan, it now supports like the M2.5 model with no tier restrictions. Both new and existing users can enjoy like the exclusive 12% discount or 88% off the original price by clicking the link in the description, because at just $1 per hour, it's affordable enough to be used in real world practical scenarios. It's a 10 billion bite-sized model. With this level of capability, it's especially valuable in an era of limited computing and resources. It ensures long-term sustainability and consistently delivers high quality experience. It's also very valuable for personal deployment or any sort of vibe coding you want to do. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and turn post notifications on if you haven't yet.